September 28th, 2021 was the beginning of the end for New World, with the first official launch trailer taking place in 2019 by Game Awards. It quickly became a highly anticipated MMO. Shortly following the MMO's release, people found out there really wasn't much for them in Artorum. After just 40 quick hours of gameplay, people started to notice bugs, dupes, glitches, this leaving the majority of the player base in the dust. Whether it be from crafting gear to gear score farming, the top 10% were thriving, buying and selling everything from land to gold. Despite hearing the community's cries, Amazon Game Studios did nothing. But the drop in players during the MMO's first month was significant, coming in at a whopping 500,000 players. Despite the drop in the player base, you could still hear people say, well, if you don't like it, don't play it. I firmly believe this backfired. December 9th, 2021. Mage nerfs are on the way. Let's just say mages were not happy. Even people who didn't play mages were unhappy with the changes, considering at the time everyone was in heavy armor, great axe, warhammer, straight god builds. Even Zaryu, a mage main in New World, was extremely disappointed, leaving a lengthy paragraph on the New World forums in hopes to change Amazon Game Studios' direction with the decision to nerf Fire and Ice by about 50%. After the changes, he tried to find ways around the nerf while still being able to be competitive and play the way he wanted to. Shortly after the nerfs, Zaryu quit playing New World full time. He didn't only take himself out of the game, but he took everyone who looked up to him as well. At this time, the player base dropped to about under 300,000 players. Servers are dead while bots run rampant on the island of Artorum, and most players hated this, including myself. I have been reporting the same bots for months, yet they are still in my server, and trust me, I'm not the only one. Despite everyone quitting and leaving due to falling behind, bots, bugs, crafting nerfs, gear score nerfs, weapon nerfs, resource nerfs, and even players getting banned randomly. Having to pay other players for endgame content, cooldowns, taxes, faction takeover, laggy wars, weapon exploits, and so much more, they raised the gear score cap. That's basically locked to guilds and groups, again, leaving most players behind. There used to be a lot of solo players in New World. Well, that was until the Void update. The Void update had secret changes that worsened the game experience for everyone, but solo players being punished the most. Changes like heavy nerfs to loot from defeating enemies in PvE and from loot chests, thus leaving New World even more of a grind. A Reddit user by the name of Sand19 said the main problem is that it's now almost impossible to improve one's gear score in New World, but now because there is no content that caters to solo players, but rather it's all about finding groups to steamroll content and have to increase the watermark that way. Although it's easier to obtain gear score in today's live server, well, to 600, that is, mutations, another month of locked content for group players. Again, leaving solo players behind. But remember, if you don't like the game, don't play it. After the mutations update, New World was sitting at around 60k players worldwide, according to the Steam charts, and this includes bots. Imagine playing a game as a solo player who can't find an OPR because it's stuck at 17 or 20 out of 40. Solo players are getting more desperate as the time goes on, saying things like, it's 25-32 after sitting in a queue for hours, knowing that there's a 50% chance they will get steamrolled by the opposing team due to balance issues, while everyone else is able to work on gear score. It's a sad reality. While future updates will allow a player to get umbrella shards from OPR, will solos even be around by then? If they don't like the game, they won't play it. As a solo player, I can honestly say I don't think Amazon Game Studios wants me to play their game. As of today, there are 38,000 players, and in the last 30 days, we lost another 19,810 players. How many of those do you think were solo? From a personal perspective, I'll be honest. I used to play PlayStation. I actually built a PC to play New World. I have always been a solo player, and every update has been a slap in the face for me. But I continue to look at the future. I also paid for tons of gen runs in hopes to get infamy, so much so I discovered RNG is fake. And to be honest, if a group of players never found me on Reddit that were in my server, I probably still wouldn't have it. I used to try to keep up with other players mainly because I'm extremely competitive, but as the time goes on, I find myself playing less and less because I know there is nothing waiting for me here but taxes and cooldowns. The friends I came here with quit long ago. Let's hope for a better future. I love this game. I love this game so much so that I still buy things out of the store. I buy things out of the store because I want to support the developers of this game and I want them to make it better. This is the only game on the internet that I can go out and shoot people with a musket on one bar, swap over to a spear, and start stabbing them. It looks great. If the mechanics were behind the looks, it would be one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. If it was just a little bit faster than what it is and there was a little more variety in the armor, I think that this game could be unstoppable. It's extremely disappointing and very sad that this game has gone the direction that it has. That is going to conclude today's message. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, don't be afraid to drop a like and subscribe. It doesn't hurt anybody. And if you want to take it back in the future, you can. But anyway, thank you guys for watching my video, and I will talk to you in the next one.